guys, Meredith Gorman here, and are you still not subscribed to Matt's channel? Well, if you're not, hit the subscribe button because he's giving out free picks each and every week. Hope you have a good rest of your day.
UFC Perth, back in the land down under, as they say. It's for a fight night card, not a pay-per-view. Good main event. Rest of the card is fairly weak, at least on paper. But we've learned over the years, guys, that sometimes the fights and cards that look great on paper aren't always the best. Sometimes these cards that are weaker on paper turn out to be great. So hopefully that is the case. We'll break down the main event, of course, and the full main card. Australia, still a place I would like to visit. I know it's tough travel and you have to go for at least like probably 2 weeks. So it's going to be on the list. I'll get there one day, but definitely up there on the list for places to visit. Link.me/system capping for client opportunities, resume, records, and more. Currently handicapping the UFC, PGA, NFL, high volume weeks, guys. We got 3 sports, 3 of my best sports. Handicapping. NHL's around the corner. We bet NHL at very low volume. That will be starting shortly. UFC was off last week, so no recap. Some news, though. And it's the Dana White news regarding the White House event. This looks great, right? You saw the graphics and their layout looks perfect. Going to be one of the bigger events in sports, period. Right? It's going to be the biggest event in UFC. What do we have? Fight Island. We had the one in Vegas for UFC Noche. That was big at the Sphere as well. This will be the biggest. Let's be honest, right? This will definitely be the biggest event, in my opinion, that the UFC throws in. One of the biggest in sports. And it depends, obviously, who's on that card. This is my little wish list, okay? Let's have a little fun here. My 3 fights I would love to see. Obviously, John Jones' return needs to be in there, and it's probably going to be against Tom Aspinall. That's a dream fight. I would love to see that. Ilya versus Makhachev. Topuria versus Makhachev. Wow. That'd be huge. That'd be a big-time fight. I would love to see that. And then you got to have Conor McGregor. He already says he's back, coming on. He's back in testing, but we've heard this before. But I think for this card, this fight, he will. I bet you Dana White has some sort of non-pullout clause contract with him if he's going to commit to him. I would love to see Nate Diaz. Did I say Nick? Nate Diaz. That would be, we would want to see that again. It'd be a fun fight. Both guys have been out of the UFC and not their main focus fighting. So that's why I like that as well, right? Conor versus Chandler, which is probably the favorite to happen just because it's been talked about for so long. I wouldn't mind that too. Chandler, big time American guy. I get it. Why you would. I think the style would be fun. So that's something also to look at. But yeah, Conor back on the card will just make it that much bigger. We expect the other people I expect to see and would like to see, Sugar Sean. He's a fan favorite, American guy. You expect to see some Americans on the card, right? Mainly heavy Americans. Colby Covington may get on there. Hopefully we see him get beat up by somebody. Sean Brady can make the card as well. And Kayla Harrison, right? Kayla Harrison definitely going to be on that card for one of the women's fight. You expect her to. It would be Kayla Harrison versus Nunes. That'd be amazing. That'd be great. Nunes will have enough time to get ready for that fight. We would love to see that. So excited, and hopefully they stack the hell out of the card. That's what we would love to see. I'm excited for the card. Hopefully it does play out. Let's get into this card, right? In the land down under in Australia. And we got a fun main event, guys. Ulberg -250 versus Reyes +200. Don't agree with the line. I make my own lines, right? Before looking at the lines. I had Ulberg as a favorite, maybe -175. And why I have him as a favorite here, a couple things. One, obviously, he's fighting at home. Again, I've stressed this enough, guys. Just because you're fighting at home, it doesn't mean it's an advantage. Now, sometimes it can mean an advantage due to time difference. But is it really an advantage doing extra media, having the pressure fighting at home and having a bunch of fans and friends and family there? Again, for some people, it could be great. It could inspire them. But for some people, the nerves kick in. And I don't know how it will for Ulberg. You can't judge that, right? The one thing he's going to have is the time difference and being comfortable at home, where Reyes is on the road and he's not comfortable in Australia. So that's one factor you got to look at. And it is a good matchup for Ulberg. Reyes doesn't wrestle, right? This is going to be a stand and bang fight. Ulberg loves that. Ulberg's great at that. Reyes has shown to be chinny in the past. Now, he's on that nice run. But Ulberg's been building that resume too. Yes, Reyes has the better resume, but as of late, Ulberg has the better resume, right? Fights and wins over Jan Balakovic, Ozmir, veteran, both two veteran guys, and Ulberg was able to win those fights. Right, Reyes 3 wins in a row, but it's more mid-tier guys, right? Jacoby, Anthony Smith, and Krylov. Nice win against Krylov there. I have Krylov, top 10 guy, in the division later, 9 or 10. But Reyes found something. After those tough losses when he stepped up in competition, he's really found something. He's looked great, guys. So it's a great fight on paper. Like I said, this does favor Ulberg's skill set, right? Stand and bang, win a striking battle, right? Reyes just has not shown to wrestle or grapple. And if he gets hit with some big shots, we know he can take them. But at times he's also been knocked down and hurt from them, right? He's fought guys like Yuri, John Jones. He's fought the best of the best, let's be honest. So yeah, resume advantage goes to Reyes, but not as of late. Ulberg has flipped that with fighting Jan Balakovic. Winning a close fight, right? It's a tough fight against Jan. But Ulberg was able to do enough. And I believe he does enough in this fight. All right, it is a 5-round fight. I'm not worried about any cardio concerns with Ulberg. I probably would favor him, even though we really haven't seen him go 5 rounds. But I would favor Ulberg in that aspect, cardio, striking. Reyes, good striker. I'm not saying he's a bad striker, right? Just his defense concerns me a little bit. He's very hittable, in my opinion. Like I mentioned, he's been knocked out multiple times. Both guys higher volume at around just over 5 significant strikes per minute. Sorry, that's for Reyes. For Ulberg, he's almost touching 7. So Ulberg a little higher in volume, which could win him this fight. This is his biggest fight, in my opinion, just due to pressure factor. Jan, obviously, I think is the better opponent than Reyes, but the spot is the biggest for Ulberg. How is he going to react to that? You don't really know. Time will tell. But yeah, play will be Ulberg. Don't love the minus 250 price. Tough to call an outcome here in a 5-rounder. It could go all 5 rounds, but we could see a later stoppage as well. So it's very difficult. If I had to bet Ulberg, it would have to fit into a money line parlay. 2-fight, 3-fight at most parlay. If I'm going to back him here, I'm not confident here in an outcome. Excited for the fight though. Jenkins minus 275 versus Tavares plus 225. Interesting fight here. I think it's the co-main or the third fight. I've seen multiple websites saying different things, even the sports book. So either way, it's a little high for my liking on this card. But Jenkins, Australian, so I get it, right? Jenkins got submitted last time out versus Gabriel Santos. He's 3-2 in the UFC. Not high on the guy. Not high on Tavares either, right? Tavares coming off a tough loss to Davy Grant. Grant's a tough guy to fight. Tough guy to fight. Davy Grant's the last guy you want to fight at the end of the day. He's just very rugged, wins decisions, and knows how to win fights. Tavares 1-1 in the UFC. So yeah, Jenkins has a little more experience in the UFC, and he's fighting at home. So yes, I'm going to lean his way, but Tavares is live at this price, plus 225. I can never bet Jenkins at minus 275 against anybody, right? Tavares, a couple other stats here. Something I'm a little concerned about. Jenkins being KO'd three times and submitted 3 times. Sorry, Tavares KO'd 3 times. Jenkins has been submitted 3 times in 4 losses. Now, Tavares just doesn't seem to be a submission threat. Last sub was in 2022 outside of the UFC. So I don't really see that happening here. Lean this Jenkins at home, but I'm not betting this fight. I believe there's value at this price on Tavares at plus 225. If you're a value hunter, you want to take a shot at smaller units, not call you crazy to lay a smaller unit on Tavares plus 225. I have this fight a lot closer than the line is saying on the books here. Jimmy Crute is back. Minus 175 versus Ursulan, plus 150. I believe the UFC is giving him a very winnable fight here, trying to build him up at home. And that's why I'm going to look at Crute here, even though you're going to be on the edge of your couch or chair when you have money on Jimmy Crute. Let's be honest, guys. Right? Let's be honest. Crute still has to go out and prove this. I'm not going to say it's a gimme fight. Ursulan, very heavy. He has heavy hands. He has 10 KOs, guys. He can knock out Crute. We have seen Crute struggle at times with two things, his chin and his cardio. It's very bad. So I believe Ursulan he could win this fight, but he's going to have to catch Crute with a big shot. And I can't be confident that he'll be able to do that. So yeah, Jimmy Crute's going to have a wrestling advantage here. We've seen Ursulan be taken down by kickboxers before, be taken down at will. And Crute, that's what he likes to do. He likes to get the fight down to the ground. So I do believe he could do that in this fight, maybe find some ground and pound. He's just going to have to avoid the big shot on the feet. And I think he gets the win here. Minus 175, not a terrible price. When I do my own lines like I do every card, I had it around that price as well. So if he can avoid the big shot, get the takedowns, I believe he wins this fight. Just hopefully he doesn't gas out, guys, right? If this fight gets into the third round, you're going to start being a little concerned. But yeah, Crute's the play for me. He did get back. He did bounce back with a win over a Prochnau, decent win over a lower level guy. I expect Crute to find a way to get the win here. Just avoid that power from Ursulan. Ursulan's coming off back-to-back losses. He's 0-2 in the UFC, guys. Just very low on him. Matthews, minus 400. Yikes. Versus Magny, plus 300. Just can't get to this price. How do you get to this price? Magny's a killer, right? He kills these up-and-coming fighters, right? We know time and time again, when Magny steps up in competition, he struggles. Pratis, Morales, of course he's going to lose those fights. And both those guys actually finished Magny. But when Magny, goes down a little bit in competition, he finds ways to win fights. And that's what he did in his last time out against Santos. So Magny is at plus 300, definitely value. I haven't seen more value in a fight for a little bit. Jake Matthews is very inconsistent. Yeah, from a skill set, from a younger fighter standpoint, yes, Matthews should win this fight. That's why you're seeing this big price tag. But he just is not consistent. He's not a consistent enough fighter for me to be backing him at minus 400. I can never do it against anybody, and especially Neil Magny, who finds ways to win fights very similar to these. Remember the Mike Malott fight? That was one instance. He was getting beat up, and then he found a way to win the fight. So yeah, my play is Matthews, but not at this price, guys. You just can't bet this price. And when you look at an outcome, if Matthews wins his fight, he doesn't win a lot of by decision. So if you can approve the price, you get it by decision, but the finish is live here. Even though Matthews doesn't get a lot of finishes, he does have a sneaky good submission game. And he does have I'm not going to say he has a ton of power because he doesn't. But Magny has been finished twice in his last 3 fights. Keep in mind, it's against a lot better guys than Matthews in Pratis and Morales. So that's something to stress here. So, yeah, Matthews is the play, but let's wipe out the prices. I'm talking about skill set to skill set, fighting at home should be advantage. Like I mentioned, sometimes it's not for guys, but this should be advantage for Matthews. He should find a way to get a win here. Just how do you bet it? Not confident on an outcome, lean a decision. I would expect this to go maybe 3. Magny kind of survives, just get beat up. But yeah, minus 400. I have there's no way I'm betting Matthews at minus 400. Last one we'll talk about here, Nolan, minus 150 versus Campbell, plus 125. This could be a good fight. I have these guys fairly evenly matched. So I just think there's a little value here on Campbell, even though Nolan will be fighting at home. Both guys, could have a decent career in the UFC. Campbell, a little interesting path he went on. He is 2-0 in the UFC. Nolan 3-1. He went on a little different path, Campbell. He fought in the Contender Series, lost, went to Cage Fury, won his fight. UFC called him back. So interesting path here. Sometimes that, puts a chip on a guy's shoulder. He's won both fights in the UFC. Nolan, fighting at home, like I mentioned, 3 wins in a row for him. So he's going to be confident coming into this fight here. When you look at the stats, both guys very decently high volume at just under 6 significant strikes per minute. Campbell seems to have a grappling advantage here. If he uses that, his grappling advantage, I think he could win this fight. Does he, though? Right? Nolan's 66% takedown defense, not great. So I do believe Campbell could exploit that skill set here. Does he? Big question. Right? Does Campbell find a way to exploit that? Hard to say. Hard to say. But I do believe, because I had this at more even money, there's some value with Campbell. Why not take a shot here on Campbell plus 125? I won't be betting it personally, but, like to find a few underdog prices here. I think there is some value here on Campbell. That will do it, guys. Shorter one this week. Looking forward to some big cards coming up. We got pay-per-view card coming up short. I think it's next, the Pereira Magomedov fight, and Corey Sanhagen returns as well against Marab. Good card there. Looking forward to breaking that one down. If you haven't already listened to Week 4 podcast, check that out. Like I always say, guys, bet smart and know your limits. Enjoy this card.